All right, Sandhagen and Nurmagomedov just wrapped up. It was in Abu Dhabi, and we're going to go over our picks and how the fights went.
So yeah, we had a bet boost, and we got some right, we got some wrong. This guy actually picked a couple more right than the bet boost did. We're going to cover that.
Starting off, we got Brenner versus Joe Alvarez. We both picked Alvarez. We thought he'd use more jiu-jitsu, but it was pretty much an entirely stand-up affair between the two men. And there, Alvarez was able to outclass him and really land those big, powerful shots on him. Was the first person to ever finish Brenner.
He's still finishing people, so that's pretty cool. Right on.
Next, we got Duran versus Gordinez. We thought Duran would win with more jiu-jitsu. She did use more striking than we thought she was going to, but she still got the win, and we still got the pick right. That's what matters.
Yeah, both of us got that pick right. And, you know, she trained a lot to up her game on her striking. So if that's what she can do from one fight to the next, I'm really going to be impressed by what she might do in the future. Maybe go for that championship spot.
Next, we got Kessa versus Ferguson, which is where we disagreed. I thought Kessa was going to win.
Unfortunately, I picked El Cucuy on this one. The way I saw it was Kessa is just a slower fighter, stays around the outside of the ring, and Ferguson does have that history of being able to come up. And you really didn't have to have like a strong fighter to go against Kessa. So I just thought Ferguson would maybe pull just a little bit of the energy into it to get the job done. But unfortunately, he just honestly, he wasn't all there.
Yeah, it's time to retire, Tony. It's time. Tony,
yeah, it's time. He's done.
Next, we got Figueiredo versus Cheeto. Figueiredo won, and it was a great performance by the former flyweight champion. He won all 3 rounds, even knocked Cheeto down for the first time. And I mean, O'Malley couldn't do that, and he was doing crazy stuff on him.
Right. And so I think this one was the one where we disagreed at first, and then we came back later. And
you came back later.
Yeah, I came back later and was able to reevaluate the footage. And just so you know, basically what we do is we go through at least 5 fights for each fighter, and we look at all their numbers and their fighting style, and that's how we basically figure out who's going to win and who's going to lose. And when you brought that to my attention, we just reevaluated the numbers, and we came out with Figueiredo on top on that one.
Next, we got Shered versus Alvarez. You picked Alvarez, I picked Shered. I'll give Alvarez this for sure. This was on short notice. I believe Shered, he actually does live in the Middle East, while Alvarez lives in Poland. So short notice, he's better adapted for the environment, the air, all that stuff. And we saw that with Alvarez getting gassed out after the first round. He had a good strategy coming in, blitzing him, not giving him any distance to use those kicks, but he just couldn't keep it up, and Shered ended up winning.
Another thing to keep in mind too is Alvarez's last fight was Kevin Holland, wasn't it? Right, and he broke his arm. Or
Kevin Holland broke his arm or something in an armbar.
Right, so I would imagine during that time that he probably had only light training during that time, so he probably wasn't fully up to speed to max power into this fight. So yeah.
Now we get to the main event. Sandhagen versus Nurmagomedov. I ended up picking Sandhagen, and you got Nurmagomedov. I think the problem for Sandhagen here is that he likes to be the smart, IQ, good planning fighter. And he thought, okay, I'm fighting Nurmagomedov. I got to stuff the takedowns. I got to win the scrambles. What is he going to do when he takes my back, which I've had struggles with before with Sterling. And he was good when it came to defending that, but he still needed that warrior and killer be killed mindset that he had immediately after that Sterling loss.
Yeah, you know, I think that's a good point, is that he just wasn't coming in full throttle, full speed, because I think he wanted to dial it back so he didn't make any mistakes against Nurmagomedov. And ultimately, I mean, if he would have went full throttle, who knows? It could have went either way.
Yeah.
But definitely by playing at 50% or 75%, it apparently was not the way to go with Umar.
Yeah, I think he just needed to be more aggressive with the striking, because Umar, he just slightly outstruck him pretty much every round, and he got that 49-46 decision.
Right. All right, so coming up real soon, we're going to be having some out of the studio action here. We don't want to give away too much, but we've got some big things coming. We got some fights coming up 305, finishing up PFL over the next couple of weeks, and we have 306, 307, 308 coming up as well. We're going to be doing some bet boosts for those. Go ahead and subscribe. Make sure you are in the loop for those. All right, so we got a lot of stuff coming up. You don't want to miss it. We'll see you guys next time.